My glamorous girls. What's
Hey,
going
hey,
on, ladies? Come on in, everybody.
come on, come on, come
Like,
on.
share our page today. Show us some love. Share our page today. It's going to be hot today.
Say on and
It,
popping.
it may be tight, but it's going to be right.
It's gonna be right.
Gonna be right. But in the meantime, it's a happy day, a great God day. I'm Wyoming.
I'm Peg.
I'm Linda.
I'm Sharon sitting
And
in.
we are
Four
4SistersLIVE.
Sisters Live.
Live.
It is a great day. It's always a great day. You see your beautiful smiles on this Saturday, especially we have our girl back in the house sitting in for Charlene, Sharon Bullock. What's up,
Hey,
girl?
Hey, Charlene.
We keep changing this panel. Everybody looking good though.
Yeah,
Everybody's looking wonderful.
Look so pretty.
thank you.
Yeah, it's a
You
great day though.
too.
With
It's a
Charlene is
wonderful
out
day.
today. What'd you say, Lynn?
I said it's a wonderful day.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
It's a great day to be alive. I know that. I don't care what it looked like outside. It was raining. It could be windy. It could be cold. It could be hot. Whatever the weather, I thank God I'm here to see it. Aren't y'all
You
glad?
can feel it. You
Yay.
can touch it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
awesome, man.
Just think of those persons who can't. They're in their hospital beds and they can't look out the window. They can't get up. So we're blessed.
We are
We're
so blessed. And we
so
shouldn't have
blessed.
anything to complain about.
Complain
I mean,
about
we
a
can.
thing.
But
Yeah.
I mean, what good would it do? We just have to keep moving, Peggy. I mean, so much going on. There's so much going on in these streets, as they say.
Oh,
And it could just tear you down. It could get you depressed. It could get you so off course. It could take
yeah.
you off your focus, man.
I am so tired of hearing the news. What is going on with the car breakings and snatching and what is
God.
wrong?
Unbelievable.
It's like somebody sprayed some dust on these young people. You know, it's like what happened? It's unbelievable and it's got to stop. And they have to. They have just lost respect.
You notice it only take one. Only take one to start the process. And then it trickles on and it continues on. These kids are out of control. I mean, you see them going into these malls, into these stores and just cleaning house like it belongs to them.
It's just snatching. And they know it's wrong.
They know
it's wrong. So I'm not understanding their thinking. And I guess we probably have to have a show on that.
Yeah.
Because
we are going to have a show on that, and then we have
Yeah.
to try to find the opportunity to get some clarity, some answers, some understanding, on what is happening.
probably have maybe on our youth show, because we have to bring on the youth. They are the only ones that can tell us what's going on.
There are a few. You have to prepare them better than this. We have to step up.
Yeah.
We need,
Right.
They're searching for something. They need something, and we've got to find out what is it that you want. Yeah. And why did you choose this path?
Yes.
What made you think you're going to get away with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a question that is baffling all of us, because we know we have young kids. We had young kids. Our kids were once young, but I can say, thanks be to God, my son or your child or anyone we may know didn't get into that.
Right. But it wasn't happening like that then.
It wasn't happening to this
degree. This is a whole new era.
To this degree, Len. Yeah, that's to this degree.
To this degree.
And I don't think we talk about it enough. I mean, it's saying on the news, it's this and that on the news, but are we really dealing with it? You could talk about it, but are you dealing with it?
Are you doing something about it too?
Are you doing something about it? All this talking, all this knowing, all this, we are, going to, continue to live this life of, in fear, because the kids who are ramping around and raging around, fearing us, putting fear in us as adults.
Yeah.
It is terror. It is terror because we are terrified. So it is domestic terror.
It is domestic terror, and it's a lot behind this. It's definitely it's demonic to me.
It
definitely
is
a demonic situation. What you gonna say, Sharon?
I was just going to say, do you think social media plays a role
A
in
lot, a lot.
You
Social
Oh, yeah.
media is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of it. Part of that contributes to many things that we're going to get in today.
Sharon, we can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me at all?
Just a
Oh,
little bit.
now we can hear you.
You know.
Okay.
No, I heard you were saying that you think
No, but she's talking and her lips are moving.
yeah.
Make sure she doesn't have that button part. Sharon, make sure you unmute.
Yeah, it's.
Okay. So say that again, Sharon.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
We can hear you now.
All right, cool.
Mention that again. Say it again.
Yes. What I was saying earlier, no, I was just saying that social media has something to do with it because it's like, you know, they have to learn somewhere, you know, they have to come from somewhere.
That contributes to that. There are things in society that is happening that's bothering them that they are not satisfied with. They're being devious. They're you call them mischievous. They just want to see what they can do to get away with things. And it's just something that's happening that the society, our community, our officials, our people that we feel that should have some control over this is not taking control to a certain degree to try and to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I also believe TV movies have a lot to play in this as well, because a lot of these kids think that if they shoot somebody, that they will hit the ground and get up and walk away.
That's the video game.
That's it. But you know, these folks, I know one young lady who was shot 7 times.
Yeah, they don't.
7 times, and she leave here for some strange reason. The good Lord kept her here. But we know so many who have gotten shot and killed, and it only takes one bullet to do it.
One. Only one.
And reckless, because you know I see how they're converting these small guns into multiple shooting guns. So therefore, and no practice, they don't know how to shoot. So therefore, and then the power of a gun, it just causes everything. That's why they're hitting any and everything and killing innocent people.
Yeah.
Hurting.
Did you see the news where it was like the Wild Wild West? They were shooting at each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it in the neighborhood.
That.
In the neighborhood.
I
In
saw
the
that.
neighborhood.
It was terrible. I couldn't believe my eyes. I mean, what is going on? They were literally in the street shooting each other in parking lots, running and shooting. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
It's not a game.
It was like the Wild Wild West.
I saw that. What do you say to that? What and how do we begin to have this conversation? Is it that we need to have the community come out to speak to the officials about it? Have town hall meetings about it?
That's what they've been doing.
That's what they've been doing.
Yeah, they have been doing. But they're not at the meeting. It's we are at the meeting. So therefore, they continue. But if they will only tell us what is
something that the parents need to be, about and know about what we need to do to handle this, or what? I mean, the parents, because the parents, their children are out in the street.
Right.
The
They
parents
don't know where their kids are.
Probably fearful of the child.
Well, that's a point.
That could be, in some cases, that's the case also.
Fearful of the child.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. And it was also the fact that children having babies having babies. So how do you raise a child when you're not?
When you're close to their age, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look like the parents, their peers or their friends instead of their parents.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we want you to chime in. We want you to comment on this. Let us know. What do you think? Are you a doctor? And is there a doctor in the house? Is there a professional in the house, a specialist, psychologist, psychiatrist? We have to talk about this later. And, because we will have other shows on this. We have to dedicate a show to this because it's so important for us to just to try to understand, and what can we do to help our young people? More importantly, how can
a lot of it that you mentioned then has to do with the psychologist, or would you say the psychological part of this?
We can't blame everything on COVID,
Yeah.
And because we keep going back to that. Yes, it did affect us mentally and physically. So I guess how much of this is a residual of that era that we went through a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Well, today we're going to talk about a subject that we know, this is our first Saturday every month that we talk about domestic violence. Today we're going to talk about this. We're going to get into it. We're going to even talk about some areas that connects to domestic violence, which is going to be talk about narcissism. What is it? How do you handle it? How do you identify even that? We're going to talk about SA today that connects with domestic violence. We have a panel that we're going to be bringing in shortly so that we can address these issues. And I'm telling you, ladies, we've been talking about this since we've had this show. Thank God, Peggy, that you have thought it, not Robbie, to speak out on this issue, because at first it was almost taboo, to speak on this issue. Ooh, people going to be shying away from it. We always try to sweep it under the rug. We don't want to deal with it. It's something that people don't want to address anyway. I don't care where you are, whether it be school, church, in your community, just in general. People don't want to talk about domestic violence, domestic abuse. What is it? What's going on? How do you do it? People not talking about it. They don't want to deal. Let me tell y'all something. It's real.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
This conversation that we started 6 years ago was a conversation. Now we realize that it really is a reality that is going on every day.
Yeah.
Every day, Peggy, something's dealing. We're being under domestic duress because of what we're talking about with these kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we talk about these kids, this is something that's happening generally, what's going on with these children.
Mm-hmm.
School shootings. So,
We're dealing with domestic issues when we're talking about relationship with young people, young girls that have been dealing with it but won't tell anybody about it. Now, when it comes out publicly, you have to deal with it. When you have a public, if you are a public figure, your business is going to be talked about publicly.
Mm-hmm.
We sit there, oh my God, what? Oh my God, you were dealing with that? Oh my God, when did that happen? Been going on. We just hearing about it.
Right, that's true.
So we are looking at people, Peggy, in real time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nothing new.
Nothing new. So as we begin to deal with this today, and every day that I see it, I just shake my head and say, oh my God, thank God that we're here to bring other people on to discuss it
And have a conversation. Yeah.
have the conversation. So we're going to do that today. And so like I said, share people, let people know we're on, like and share the page, of course. Engage. If you have a question, you want to talk about this today with us, please chat with us today. We need your input on this matter. And there's going to be some other things. I think, Peggy, we're on the show, we talk about it. In general, it's about how do we bring others in that can speak to their issues so that we'll know where are we to help as it relates to Sisters for Sisters Network.
And why I think a lot of sisters realize now it's okay to tell my story.
Okay.
Okay. Years in the past, we were fearful. We didn't want to tell. We didn't want anybody to know that we were going through this. And I think we're getting smarter and wiser that it's a part of the healing by telling the story.
So and if you want help, you have to cry out for that help. So like you were saying, so many of us have not cried out for the help.
Right.
Because of shame, because of questions of of relationships and how it's going to turn around after you tell it. Is it going to be more painful if that person finds out that you told?
Exactly.
Because that's the biggest fear, is retaliation. It's like they're going to get me, they're going to hurt me more. And a lot of them fear their lives, and a lot of lives have been taken.
Yes, because
but they tell their stories. You hear your story through someone else.
Yeah.
you know, if we can just keep talking about it and talking about it, someone is going to hear their story and they're going to look for help,
And
hopefully.
someone's going to send some help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we get into it more, and we will, let's open up and to say happy holidays to everyone. We know that we're celebrating. Can y'all believe it? This is the last month of the year.
I don't
Woo!
believe it.
Amazing.
Hey,
Don't believe
So
I
we
don't
it.
know what
want to
happened
wish
to
everyone happy
2023, but
holidays.
it's here.
Great holidays. We want you to stay and, you know, kind of enjoy your life and be happy, enjoy it. So yeah, it's Christmas time. It's upon us. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I try to be happy.
Try to be really happy.
Try
Okay.
to be happy. Put
Yes.
some happy music on, you
Yes.
know,
Yes. Let's talk
put
about what.
put a happy movie on,
Yes.
whatever makes you laugh. You know, we got these big TVs, you know, turn on your Kevin Hart's. That's what I do. I turn on somebody funny every now and then. You know,
Yes.
sometimes you gotta laugh. You gotta get those endorphins up. That's
Yes.
health and that is wellness. God gave us things to laugh at.
That's
So,
right.
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
we have comedians, but most
Yes.
importantly, we have music. So put some happy music on. Put your favorite music on
There
today.
you go, Linda.
Yeah,
That's the way.
yeah, yeah.
But
While you
find that
cooking,
happy place. Find that
yeah,
happy place.
find that
Right?
happy place. It's a
Find that
cloudy
happy
day.
place.
We're all feeling like, but
Yeah.
we got to get
Are we
back up.
too? I'm telling you, no matter what's going on, guys, we have to make sure we smile and have
Smile.
joy within ourselves.
Even
We
though
have
it
to have
hurts, you
joy.
got to smile. I know God is working because smile.
Go on, Lynn. Go ahead,
Yeah,
girl.
I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on any moment.
Yes, smile. You look so much better when you
You
smile.
just smile. Just smile.
Smile, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I
I could
love it.
feel the endorphins going up already. Don't you
Yeah,
feel it?
girl.
Don't you feel it?
work, work.
Well, speaking of happy, we're going to say happy birthday to all
Yeah.
of y'all who's celebrating a birthday
All right,
today.
December,
Oh, yeah.
Sagittarians. All right. Happy
You know, we got
Yes.
birthday.
Phyllis Slade Martin is celebrating her birthday on Monday, the 4th.
Mhm.
Cynthia Green on the 6th of December. Mary
Mm,
Alexander, the 8th. Rona Russell McKnight on the 13th.
mm.
Alicia Pryor is on the 15th. And Cynthia Brown is on the 24th. Happy birthday, my
To
sisters.
everybody. Hello, hello.
Happy
Hey,
birthday. Anybody
Candace.
celebrating a birthday, put it in the chat. Put it
Happy
in the chat.
birthday. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you. Absolutely. We love it. We love it. Today, I'm a little somber, you know, and celebrating at the same time. This is the first birthday. Thank you, Dee. This is the first birthday of my nephew, Bernard Ezell Hunt.
Oh,
Oh.
Is not here on his first birthday. We celebrate him. You know, he was gunned down in Southeast DC in August. My sister's only son.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
I'm having a somber moment, you know, my mood and my spirit.
yeah.
You know, he's not here with us on his
I
first birthday.
know.
Of course, we miss him so much, so much. I'm still in awe of him not being with
I
us.
know.
Young man, 36 years old, you know, 36.
And doing
Life
so much good in the
So
neighborhood.
much.
It's
So
so
much.
much
so
good.
much,
He was
so much.
setting the example. He
He was
was
setting the
setting he
example.
was setting the example of what a young man should be doing right now.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Leading the way in terms of the community, being out there in
Yes.
the trenches
Yes.
with these guys and young women just to help them out and show them the way and giving them opportunities to know what life is about. But, you know, whether it's God's plan, wasn't
It's
our
his
plan
plan.
that he's not here. But again, want to say happy birthday, BJ.
Happy
Hashtag
BJ.
birthday, BJ. Happy heavenly birthday.
happy birthday,
Yeah.
baby. He loves you. But and I just want to say, if you all are in the neighborhood of 16th and Good Hope Road, they put a big mural up of him.
Sure did.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet.
Yes, they did to honor him in the community because he was that guy. He was that guy. So
That guy.
thank God that we can keep his legacy alive through seeing him on the mural. So thank you guys for allowing me to share that. So Peggy, what's going on in your world, girl?
Well, I've been celebrating the whole month of November, so I'm sitting still right now.
I can
Beginning
understand.
January 1st, I'm celebrating all year long. Okay.
Okay, that's
Ooh,
good.
okay.
That's good to
Okay.
know.
I mean,
Okay.
be blessed. We got to be blessed every day.
Every day,
Too
every
Every
day.
blessed
day.
to be stressed. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as long as you are healthy while you staying still, then that's a good thing,
That's
right?
a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful.
Mhm.
What's
Yeah.
going on in your world, girl, Sharon?
Oh, just taking it all in, taking it all in.
Mhm.
Coming off the Thanksgiving holiday, I can't believe it's almost Christmas.
Yes,
Give you something to look forward to. It's just sort of it's sort of bittersweet because my parents won't be here this time, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like look forward but not looking forward.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a little tougher. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But you got sisters and friends who are here. It's not the same, but as long as I'm tell you, some people don't have people to go to and talk to and be around during times in these moments. So it's a blessing that you have friends and sister friends that you can
Yep.
talk to and hang out with,
You
and
got us.
you have
Mhm.
us. So you
Yes.
already know, right?
Yes. Yes.
So what's going on in your world, girl, Lynn Lynn?
Not a whole lot. Just hey, getting ready for the holiday and just taking care of myself and
Looking
looking
good,
forward.
girl.
Yeah, just looking forward. Thank you. Just looking forward to. I guess they might start looking forward to next year. I'm, just still putting stuff together. We got to get everything ready for the holiday. So those are the type things I'm doing right now. Just preparing. Yes.
Dante, I just sent you something. If you can share that photo I just sent you, please, if you can, wanted to acknowledge and recognize this woman who was our former First Lady of the United States, and that was First Lady Rosalind Carter, who
Yeah.
Oh yes.
passed away,
I
and there
watched.
she is.
It was a beautiful ceremony. I did watch her
Very beautiful
memorial
ceremony.
ceremony because she was one of my favorites, and she did so much in the community,
She
and
did.
she overcame so much and helped her husband so much. She was right there. So yeah, it was a really beautiful memorial service for her.
Beautiful.
They mentioned on the news that she had
I
made
sent
so
you
many
another D.
changes.
Huh?
They
Beautiful
had
music.
mentioned on the news that she had made so many changes in the White House when
Yes.
her and Jimmy Carter,
Mhm.
President Jimmy Carter,
They
was
were they were they
in
were
the White House.
physical. They did things physically.
Together.
Every time I go up Benning Road and I see the houses that they helped build, humanity.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think of it all the time. These were the works of that president and his wife,
His
President
wife.
Carter
Yeah.
and his wife,
It's
and
sad to say, but when one leaves, the next one's gonna be.
yeah, that's so sad because he is in
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
And they would say
he was determined to be there, and he was there.
who was determined. And of course, they said, well, she said in her way, I want to get there before you get there. So
And he
it was,
wanted to be there to take care of her to the end. So this
yeah.
is just a love story. It was such a beautiful love
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
another icon has left us and passed on. Had a beautiful service, and they're going to continue to celebrate him. And I showed you that picture, Bishop Carlton Pearson.
Oh yes,
You
Yeah.
all know
yes.
about Bishop Carlton
I
Pearson.
just
He
heard
is,
about this yesterday. As a matter of
yes,
fact.
his service was yesterday. This man has been around for over 50 plus years in the ministry, who brought up so many of us in the church and,
Mm-hmm.
and in the church community, period. By far, he was
Yeah.
a leader. And we honor and salute Bishop Carlton Pearson, because he had the conference of all conferences back in the day, the Azusa conference.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
grew up on the Azusa, and being who I am today as a person of faith, a person of who I am as a singer, a person I've been raised in the church, and he is a part of that legacy and that history that we have. So wanted to honor him because he should be honored for all that he has done for everyone, every culture, everyone, race, creed, color, everyone that he
Mm-hmm.
touched lives. So may you rest in peace, Bishop Carlton Pearson and First Lady Rosa Carter.
Yes.
Yes. So um, I want to bring in some ladies that I think, Peggy, if we can, anybody have anything else anymore that we want to do to get out the way, because I want to get right into this conversation to bring our guest in. And we can start bringing them in, Dante. Thank you. Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Hi. Hi.
Hi,
Hello, hello.
everyone.
Hello, hello, my
Blessings.
sisters. How are you all today?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Welcome to Four Sisters Live. Thank you for coming. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us and being able to talk about this subject matter that we definitely deal with on the first Saturdays of every month here on this platform. But of course, it's happening every day. And you're here today to help share some light and to engage with us. So we want to first take some time and introduce our guest panels for today. This is going to be a panel discussion today, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we want you all to engage with us, ask questions. Let's talk about this because it helps us when we talk about it. So we hope we're going to be helping someone today. And
Exactly.
our this is our goal. This is our mission is to talk about this so we can help save lives. So we're going to start with Amina. Amina, come on in and introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you want everyone to know about you and what you do.
Wonderful. Well, hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be a part of this show again and to be able to be with our sisters and talk about this topic. So, I'm Amina McWhirter. I am the founder and executive director of Love by the Handles, and we focus on, we're 501c3, and we focus on domestic violence, homelessness, and our at risk youth. And also with that, I'm very excited to be able to be a part of this dialogue today. And even when you all were sharing and talking about the violence amongst our young people, this is going to be really good as well. So I am an author. I'm an author of 3 books, and my main book, or the first book that I wrote, was Shush No More, and that is really dealing with abuse and dealing with unhealthy relationships and healthy relationships and having a real dialogue on that. And so with that, also with the foundation, Love by the Handles, but I'm excited to be able to let you all know that the book is about to be revised. So we're coming back out with the new version of Shush No More. And with that, coming up with our new talk show, or my new talk show coming back, Shush No More. And really about Shush No More, it's really something that we're talking about even now, but on a larger scale. As individuals and people that typically talk about things privately, it's time for us to really start to talk about these topics publicly. So we're going to shush no more on a lot of different things that we have been experiencing in our lives. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Amina. It's great
Thank
having
you.
you.
Sound
Definitely. Yeah.
excited to have you. Yes.
Yeah. No, you and Peggy go way back. I
Yeah.
heard.
Yes, yes. And actually, I must say this. I'm saying I'm so excited. It's been years now, almost about 5 years that I have not been able to have my show. So in 2024, Shush No More is coming back. And when I first started the show, I think in 2016, my first show at Radio One was with Peggy, and she was my first
Yep.
guest and helping me to launch the show. And that's why I call her Mom Peggy, like a lot of us do. But I'm so excited and be able to end this year, but announce that my show is coming back in 2024 on you all show with Peggy is really something that is dear to my heart. So thank you all again.
Full circle. Full circle.
Full circle. Absolutely. So kudos to you on that. Absolutely. So Dr. Roxanne Brown, come on in and let everybody know who you are and what's going on.
Am I in?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Sisters for Sisters. I am Dr. Roxanne Brown Robinson, founder and CEO of RBM International, which is a global women's ministry. We focus on a lot of different things, but mainly on the inner woman and how we can heal from trauma. I am also the new co-founding director of Yeshua Woman, launched out of Atlanta, Georgia. We just launched that last night right here on StreamYard. I'm a mom, a sister, a mother, and so many other things. But more importantly, I am a survivor of breast cancer. I'm a
Mm.
survivor of a stroke and survivor of what they call the imposter syndrome. Been delivered from all of that. So I'm so glad to be here. And just like Amina, I have a history with Sister Peggy. We co authored a book together with Dr. Cheryl Wood. Can't remember
Yeah.
the name of it, something about entrepreneurship. But what I know now is that God is in control. And we got to stick to what we know so we can be the face and the voice to those who do not have a voice in this
Absolutely.
world called social media. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah, happy to
take a
have
moment, Roxanne or Dr. Roxanne, share a little bit about the platform that you're going to kick off on Monday.
Yes, like Amina, my podcast had been on hold for a while, but now I'm bringing back Real Talk. We're going to talk about real issues that we talked about earlier. A lot of women don't want to share their stories, but it's time. God said, go forth and do what I've called you to do. And when you can do that, you don't need a script, you don't need anything. You just need to open up your mouth and talk about what God has told you to talk about. So, yes, Real Talk with Dr. Rock is coming back starting on Monday night. So I hope that you can join us. Thank you, Peggy.
Will do. Beautiful.
absolutely. And last but certainly not least, our girl, our sister, our long time look, buddy. She gonna salute us already. We salute you too, the girl. What's up, my girl?
Hey, hey.
I
Winifred
I love
Foxworthy.
you ladies. I love you ladies. Yes, I am saluting. I'm fixing the crowns. That's what I do. And I even bring out the pom poms because I'm always cheering people on. I want to see people win. So yes, bringing out the pom poms. So thank you so much, everyone, for Sisters Live for having me. I'm surrounded by all this greatness. So it's an honor. My name is Jennifer Foxworthy, and I am the founder and CEO of Inspirationally Speaking LLC, which is a for profit where I do my motivational speaking and my published book. And then I have my nonprofit organization, Unstoppable You Ministries, Inc. And under that nonprofit, we provide services to populations or individuals and families who are experiencing domestic violence, human trafficking, and homelessness. And so I often share that one person can experience all three. We do education, public education and training. We provide emergency services, supportive resources, and we have many platforms in which we do this. So, um, I'm a retired Navy combat veteran who served for 21.7 years, and I account for every point seven. I'm a follower of Christ. I'm a wife. I'm a mom, and everything in between. So just honored to be here. And I'm a domestic violence survivor and thriver.
Yes, definitely. We're always happy to have you, Jennifer. I know you have been doing so many things, girl, throughout this year. Always, annually, you always doing on events, whether it's here, whether it's in York, Pennsylvania, whether it's in Boston, whether it's in California, whether it's in Maine. Girl, you've been traveling. You really are a lady that's on the move. You're about your work. That's I'm just saying. You really put it in the work. And we bless you for that. We thank you for being out there. Tell us about some of the things you've been doing this past year of conferences as it relates to Unstoppable You and other ministries and conferences that you've been holding.
Hi. Thank you for that question. So Unstoppable You Ministries, we are a grassroots nonprofit organization. And what we're helping the communities. So, although I live in Maryland, in Southern Maryland, we provide services to people around the country because we travel in our different platforms. And we want people to realize these issues are not in a silo. It affects everyone: domestic violence, human trafficking, homelessness. whether directly or indirectly. And so we love to collaborate. And God has enlarged our territory where people, different agencies are actually requesting to collaborate. So we have a signature human trafficking awareness workshop that we have been hosting for several years. And one of the big thing is the Pennsylvania State Police actually reached out to our organization. So we collaborated with them um, for a showing or for the workshop in Red Lion, PA recently. And now we're gearing up in Hanover, Pennsylvania. We also had the military base, Naval Air Station, their Fleet and Family Support Center, and NavAir. They are wanting to collaborate with us to do a human trafficking awareness event on base uh, in
Mm.
January 2024. So a lot of amazing collaborations are happening. We also host our safety and self-defense workshops um, throughout Maryland and Pennsylvania. You know, I can go on, but if I believe awareness equals prevention, and if we can bring that education and plant that seed,
Mm-hmm.
then someone doesn't have to come to us for emergency services. I'm one of those people, work me out of a nonprofit. These are some horrific nightmares that people experience in regards to domestic violence and human trafficking and homelessness. I'd rather not deal with it, but I'm going to continue to be obedient, say yes to God, and be about my Father's business.
You have a flyer, I believe you have that's coming up in January next year. Do we have that available to show um, her flyer? You want to talk about the event that's happening called Blind Eyes Opened?
Yes. So, like I said, our human trafficking awareness workshops get requested everywhere. So I had a chance to see Blind Eyes Open, the truth about sex trafficking in America, when it was in the theaters just for one day. And when I saw it several years ago, I was like, oh my goodness, everybody needs to see this. And it highlighted the 6 true stories of women who survived sex trafficking and telling their story. So, Unstoppable You Ministries, my nonprofit, we purchased a public license to show that anywhere. And one of the stipulations, it has to be in person, it can't be done virtually.
Mm.
And one of the stipulations that the executive producer puts out is that um, $5 per person, that money is sent to the executive producer, and then he divvies that out to the 6 survivors and their different nonprofit organizations so that they don't feel like their stories were exploited. And I think that's very important when we connect
Thank
with
you, Dee.
survivors, is to not exploit their stories. And so, but we offer this free of charge to any community. We provide food. In addition to watching this documentary, we open it up for a community conversation. So myself and different colleagues who are in the trenches helping human trafficking survivors, we're on hand. And
Yeah,
so, and then we round it out with the Red Sand Project. So we bring that awareness, we offer the dialogue, and then a call to action. And that's January 27th in Hanover, Pennsylvania. And then we got other requests throughout 2024 as well.
wonderful. Well, kudos to you. Thank you, Dee, that we're bringing awareness to sex trafficking because it is real. There, I see it everywhere. Postings, posters that are out, even in bathrooms. Talking about, can you trust this person? Because you don't know what they're being sexual trafficked. Because the young girls being snatched, and you don't see them, and you be wondering, where are they? Someone has snatched them and taken them, and they're out there. And a lot of things that I know is horrific, but it's almost like you're definitely being abused, and this is real. This is something
And
that.
there's actually an intersection between domestic violence and human trafficking. I actually have a client who was trafficked by her boyfriend.
Mhm.
Mm.
So many people, you're they start they come off as the Romeo, where they want to meet the person's needs, and many times
Mhm.
that's the self-esteem. It
Mhm.
could be housing insecurity,
Mhm.
financial insecurity. They find out what the vulnerabilities are,
Mhm.
and they unfortunately exploit them. So they come off as the intimate partner, that boyfriend, and
Right.
women can be traffickers as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
And they will groom their victim anywhere from 6 to 9 months.
Right.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
it's important to help our children, help parents, help educators, help everybody understand, what does this look like? Why is this happening? And
Mhm.
put a strategy in place. And so yes, I when she refused, um the buyers, they gang raped her. Um and she was pregnant at the time. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
she lost the baby. So very, very tragic, very horrific things that are happening. So yes, even refugees, um, people who are seeking green cards to be here legally, they can be exploited by people who,
Yep.
well, I'll help you get that green card, or I want to marry you.
Yes.
And then they put them in a means of servitude,
Mm.
of labor trafficking and sex trafficking. Eh,
Wow.
You know, so I can go on, but for the sake of the show, there is that intersection.
Yeah.
And I just want to help people understand what it looks like
That's
and
that's a big
And
the
under.
resources.
if I can interject as well with what Jennifer was
Sure.
saying. So one thing that I can definitely agree with and have been a part of in this awareness and eradication of domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking is I've worked over 10 years, over a decade in safe houses. And in many of the safe houses, people do not realize that that is not just based upon a safe house that's local where you are, right? We have individuals that will come there that have been victims of human trafficking. We have individuals that come into the safe house, and the reality of the matter is they may not have yet made that decision to even leave the abuser, but in some cases, they made that decision at that moment that that relationship or where they was unhealthy, and so they are
Mhm.
starting to get into a space and place for safety. And one thing I am so excited to be able to be a part of this dialogue today and talking about human trafficking as well as sexual assault and understanding the importance of how all of that connects. And a lot of times, I know I was going through some stats with the American Psychology Association, and they were saying that up to 19% of our teens experience date violence. And a lot of times we don't even realize that that is because of the fact it's not always based upon what's happening in the home. It's things that have happened with our children that they're not talking about because they're afraid and they're scared to talk about it. And the most important part is that the children are also saying, who's going to believe me? Right?
Right.
Or get
Mhm.
that stigma, or they don't know what love is. They don't know what this is, but they're experiencing it. Right. And then
Mhm.
somebody else comes and talks to them about it, that talks to them about it wrongly. But because they have the listening ear, that's how they're enticed. And so we
Yes.
do have to make sure that we are keeping this dialogue going on, not just amongst us as women, but to also be transparent with our story, as Linda was talking about earlier, being transparent to our story with young women, with young men, so they really know that they're not alone. A lot of times we get confused when we want to be quiet. And that's why Shush No More is also important of us understanding we got to speak on it. We have to speak on it. And I believe someone has said, you all was talking in the beginning and was saying like what needs to be done, right? Even amongst our youth. And we have the town halls, we have this and we have that. It has to keep going. It
Mhm.
has
Yes.
to stay consistent. Because
Mhm.
Yes.
one thing for sure, two things for certain, they keep going. They're
Mhm.
going and maybe in a direction that we don't want them to go in. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to be that voice and stand up to be able. I have two adult children. They have been and seeing the different works and things that I've done. But at the same time, even when, especially when it comes to people that may talk to them, they'll refer. They may not be able to talk, but they remember somebody could talk about it. They're the expert.
Mhm.
So let me refer you to my mom. Let me refer you to Wyoming. Let me refer you to this person. Because if we don't speak on it, no one else knows that somebody else is speaking on it. So it's important.
Exactly.
Right. So
Absolutely.
true.
Dr. Roxanne, did you have anything you want to interject or speak on?
Well, we're talking about domestic violence. It is connected to um, heavy trafficking, human trafficking. It's all related because a lot of times young women, young girls, which I'm very passionate about, will go out into the world thinking that they're going to get some type of solace from another man, but really they're running themselves right directly into
Into the,
another
yeah.
trap at the end.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
very direct about it. I don't sugarcoat it anymore because I don't have to. I
Right.
don't. This show is about bringing out to the forefront the things that we don't want to talk about in the church.
Right.
Recently ordained as a pastor last year, the Holy Spirit told me, "You will talk about domestic violence. You will talk about inner
Mhm.
healing. You will be the voice because I don't like to use negative words, but pastors are not counselors. Pastors have never really dealt with the internal issues that women and some men have dealt with domestic violence. So let
That's
me
true.
bring you to a scripture that brings out this very important concept, and that is Ephesians 5. As you can see, I am so passionate about this because if you were to read Ephesians 5 for yourself, the main thing that I want to bring out is this: follow the example of God. Did you ever see God abuse anyone? Have you ever seen God do anything negative to the flock? No, he did not. He professed and he prophesied what he was going to do while he was on earth. And even though he was abused by the people, he kept on going. But we've taken that and taken it out of content. But now, in this modern day where we have social media as a platform and we have other things on an international and global level, I heard the Lord say prophetically to me in 2023, "You're free. You talk
Mhm.
about it in your book. You say you belong to me. So what are you afraid of?" And I agree with everyone that said a lot of times we don't want to talk about the abuser. It's not even about him, but it is
Mhm.
about. We don't have to mention his name. We have to just simply make a decision to move forward in what God says do, not be afraid, because God said, "I have not given you a spirit of fear. I've
Mhm.
given you love, power, and a sound mind." Come up against me today if you want to in domestic
Mhm.
violence. I
Yeah.
will shoot you down every single time because we don't have to live in fear. For a
Yeah.
long time, I believe that I was the victim because that's what God said. But now, as we go into 2024, yes, I will be making a documentary about domestic violence, talking about how I saw it as a
Mhm.
young girl in my family, but yet that person received the help that they needed. While I was in the hospital healing, my accuser, I call him my DMV, domestic violence man, DMV, whatever. And he said to me, "I always knew you would end up where you are." But what he doesn't realize is that fast forward a year later, God has given me the voice. So I no longer answer to the sound
Yeah.
of domestic violence. I no longer answer to the fear. I answer to victory.
Yes.
Victory belongs to you, to me,
Yeah.
to
Yes.
everyone that's
Yeah.
listening on today.
Yes.
That's
Right.
good,
And
Doctor. That's
Ooh,
good, Doctor
right.
Roxanne. That really is.
beautiful.
We are
And
we are living witnesses to what God can do through us. He uses the
Yes.
people. He's using us to put out what we need to save people's lives. God has given us the ability to do these things. And this is why we're here today. This is why we've been talking about it. And I just really believe that this is a purpose and a moment. I like what you have on your flyers is real issues, real purpose. I think you have three. real was the issues,
Mhm.
purpose, and what was the other one, Dr. Roxanne?
Real strategies.
Right.
Because the thing is that, and I'll give an example of my own personal journey. When I went to the church over 20 years ago, serving in ministry as a minister, I said domestic violence is in the church, and
Mm.
the leaders and the overseers and whatever else they want to titles they want to put on themselves at the time just kind of looked at me, and I did a presentation, not knowing then that it was going to be effective today in the church. And so, as a spiritual director in training, we need to lead people back to what God said. God is love. Love exuberates out of our pores. And if we can't show love behind doors, I'm not walking with you in the church, holding hands and pretending as if domestic violence doesn't exist. It's still happening today. But women and men are silent about it because of their narcissistic behavior. I see it every day
You
because
know,
of the
Yeah,
stigma.
that's good. What you gonna say, Lynn?
yeah. No, just and listening to you and being in the church for my life,
Yes,
that's one auxiliary that does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
That
it
is
does.
the one auxiliary that should be established, because
Yes,
just like you said, yes, it's in the church, because you got people there, and you got people coming there to the
mhm,
hospital church to deal with whatever. So that it's there. So
Mm-hmm.
that
It's
should
been
be
there.
it's there. So that should be an auxiliary. Just like
Yes.
all the usher board and the ABC board and security board, and you got to have a domestic violence board there. Someone, you could call it what you want, but you really need to call it what it is.
Let's be real, Linda.
yes,
There
Be
are
real.
churches, and we could say there are churches now beginning to migrate into
Some
doing
of them
that.
do,
They
yes.
are starting. There
The
are many
larger
churches,
the larger ones do, I
yes,
believe.
but and
It's
I
the
know,
smaller ones, I believe, that everyone's like walking in their little lane, and you know,
and
I
why
think,
is that? They tiptoe around this
yeah,
subject. You know why? The pastor does not want to deal with it. Believe it or not, most of the pastors could be a pedophile. They could be doing things. They could be
they
beating
could
their
be
wife.
right.
They could be
Some of
having
them,
sex relationships with
some
some
are
other woman.
guilty of
None of that is the reason why
controlling
they
the
do that.
women in their church.
Yes,
I do
yes,
want to say to that point, Linda, as well, and what you want me to. I think that is important. One thing that I hope and pray with this eradication of domestic violence, I've been saying this for many years, is that we have to also know that our men need to partner with us in this dialogue, with
yes,
Yes,
this movement, right? Because
yes.
we know that men are victims of abuse as
They're
well.
victims as
And
well.
we don't, and we, it could be the 1 to 7 to the 1 to 4, right? 1 to 4 to women, 1 to 7 to men, or something in that nature. We know that the numbers could be lower, but it doesn't change the fact that they are abused as well. But more importantly, because it is a high percentage of women that are suffering from domestic violence, the amazing part is when men come out and
Right.
partner with us and be able to communicate and talk and to be advocates as well of healthy relationships and be an example. We talk about it so much with what we know about men and how they could be the abusers for women, but there are so many great men that stand against it as well. And
mhm,
so I'm pleading, I'm imploring in 2024 that our men come up and support us in this movement so that we
mhm.
can see, especially when we're dealing with our young people, especially when we're
Absolutely.
dealing with our youth, especially when we're dealing with our young men. We have to be that example. It can't just be the tightest woman, right? And the woman teaching, the older woman teaching the younger. We are imploring our men to come out and speak on how men should treat women, and more importantly, how women see those men treating them. When
Yes,
we come and we talk about the fatherless generation, we talk about different things where women have maybe not experienced healthy relationships or have that. It is a testimony for you to be able to see a man that's going to be at that example of how you should treat a woman or how you should be. And even when it's in a church, right? One
yes,
of the aspects of my book, Shush No More, I talk about a chapter that deals with spiritual abuse. And I
yes.
remember when I first started talking about that, heads was turning. And I've been talking about this for many years because of the fact that I'm a survivor, but I also am that individual has been raised in the church. And sometimes things are taboo and you don't talk about it. So we have to talk about it and spread the awareness of it, not just for our women, but for our children, for their children, for our men, and for us to come together as a community to really eradicate this.
Well, I want to segue into something in a word that Dr. Roxanne just mentioned is about narcissists, because this thing is real and it all kind of blends in together as it relates to the type of person that has the ability to use you and abuse you in this respect, whether it be a man or woman, but a narcissist. And we want to talk about what is a narcissist. It's a personality disorder who's vain, conceited, egotistical, self-centered, and controlling. That's just a couple of words of description of a narcissist. Are you a narcissist? Am I a narcissist? Anyone you know is a narcissist. Can you become a narcissist? How does this work as it relates into relationships and domestic violence? And we talk about human trafficking, but talking also that go along with this is SA. You know, sexual assault. People are out here now. Things are going on that is coming out. They said, what's happening in the dark will come to the light. It's coming out now, guys. I think God is revealing some things. He's now taking the covers off of some situations so that we can be free, Dr. Roxanne.
Yes.
We can be free because people are suffering.
Yes.
They are going through and they didn't know how to deal with it. But we have situations that are going on right now that people are suffering, going through, and have been going through for a long time, and they're tired. People just tired. They're tired of the social media. They're tired of what's going on, how social media is affecting our personalities, our mindset, our children, our community, our loved ones. People are just dying at the hands of social media. They're dying at the hands of a narcissist. They're dying at the hands of an abuser. And people are tired. And they're talking about it now. They're opening up more and more and more. If you all are not in tune to what's happening at this time, please get in tune and understand that it's happening in our churches, it's happening in our athletic area, it's happening in the entertainment area, it's happening in the music, the film, the industry at large. It's happening everywhere. You do not have to be a person next door that's poor and middle class. You're rich and you're still an abuser.
Yes.
You got money and you are an abuser. You have power. Power
is the main thing.
That's the main thing.
Yes.
That people that have power abuse their power. They will abuse their power over a woman. And it doesn't matter how pretty you are. It doesn't matter the fine clothes you wear. It doesn't matter how you are as you could be the sweetest person, but get with the wrong person, your life will be changed instantly.
Yes.
Right.
Get with the wrong person. I don't care how pretty you are, how cute you are, how talented you are, how the best I don't care if you're a lawyer, doctor, Indian chief. It doesn't matter because it doesn't discriminate. You will be abused. You can be abused, and you walking around smiling, and you tired of smiling.
You have to scream out.
You have to scream out, Linda.
You got to scream out. It's like it's a fire. Scream out.
Scream out. I want to show quickly, Dante, this video before we close out, because this is a part of what we're talking about as a narcissist, because we understand people are living with this every day of a person and don't know how to get out. Yeah. You ready, D?
Never really truly know the narcissist or toxic person in your life until you leave them or try to leave them. There are so many people that are in relationships with narcissistic people that don't really know who they are. And they really, really, truly don't show you their true colors until they feel like they have you trapped, or until they feel like you're going to leave and when they're not ready for you to leave. Like when you decide to move on or break up with them or discard them or something along those lines, they lose. They show you their true colors. The mask comes off. There's no holds barred. Then you see who they really are. They might lose their damn minds. They might try to stalk you. They might try to harm you. They might threaten you. They might threaten to harm themselves. You will really see who they truly are. And once they show you who they truly are, they try to fearmonger you back into a relationship with them.
Mhm.
And I promise you, y'all,
Mhm.
it will absolutely get worse.
It will get worse.
It's going to get worse, right?
It's going to get worse.
Yes.
You can't sit around and think it'll get better.
Mm-mm.
You can't sit
Thank you.
around and say, well, should I stay or what's it's going to get? You can't change that person.
It's a fire. Run. Run.
You can't change
Treat
that
it
person.
like fire. Treat it
And
like
this
fire.
yeah, yeah. You have to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Any last
And
words you
sometimes,
want? Go ahead, Amina. Last words on this.
and sometimes it's not always that easy. Statistics show that that it takes a woman or a person 7 times sometimes before they really end up leaving. And
Mm-hmm.
so the real plea is that for some individuals, it's not that easy, because even if they do leave, they're also fearing their lives, right? And how that looks. And so one of the things that I really want to be able to take away from this is just like how we have the National Domestic Violence Hotline number on the screen. We have the National Suicide Hotline. We have these numbers and things here for you all to call. The biggest piece to this is not us saying this as a cliche, it's real, is to speak up. Even if
Yes.
it's someone that you are just giving like a little hint to. Hey, can I just talk to you because something's not right? Or you making sure that sometimes when we feel this in our spirit, in our soul about a particular person, let's not be quiet on that too. Let's call and reach out and text. Hey, how you doing? How you feeling? I was thinking about you. Or let's go out. Let's go out for lunch. Let's show that love. Let's let them see. Sometimes it's just them touches for them to be able to then start to speak out. So just make
Yes.
sure that that is something that we're doing, that we are really checking on each other. But if we're feeling something, sometimes it's just not it. And sometimes for those that are believers, it's the Holy Spirit. But sometimes it's God saying, hey, touch on this person, talk to this person. So let's just know to
Absolutely.
do that.
Last words. And you have anything, Dr. Roxanne, on this?
Yes, I want to give a scripture that my late father, Carl B. Brown, senior pastor, gave me, and it's Ephesians 5:6. Let no one deceive you with empty words, because if you do, then you will be under the wrath of God. And what I mean by that, to paraphrase, is simply this: love in action is love in action. There's no other way to put it. And if you don't feel love exuberating from the person that you're with, whether it's your boyfriend, your husband, your pastor, whoever, you can never receive love, because you are allowing the enemy to put you into a place that you don't want to be, because domestic violence is a real thing. Real talk, Dr.
Absolutely.
Rock.
Thank you so much.
You're
Any
welcome.
last words for you, Jennifer, on this?
Yes, thank you for tackling the tough questions, the tough issues. I truly believe it starts in the home.
Mm-hmm.
We can't pass it off to the educators, the church, and everything else if we don't have healthy examples of what communication looks like, what boundaries look like, what self-care looks like. Again, it starts in the home. And so when we make excuses, when a little boy pushes down a little girl and we say, oh, honey, that's just a love tap, he likes you, we are setting a precedence of making excuses and saying that violence and the power and control is love. And then when that little boy, and we know that women abuse as well, but in this particular scenario, we make excuses and therefore there's no correction or discipline for that child. So, okay, if this action gets me this result, I'll continue to do so. So it starts in the home.
Yes. Thank you, Jennifer. Sharon, and do you have any the parting words you'd like to mention on this?
Just took the words out of my mouth. What I was going to say, it starts in the home, and what we spoke of earlier, they mimic what they see. So
Mm-hmm.
learned behavior a lot of times when the child, that's when they really get them help.
Yeah. What about you, Len? Do you have any last words on this subject matter?
I just want to say that, we have to pray. Of course, we have to pray daily. If you're in the situation, and right, it takes time to get out, and it takes time to understand what you're really in. So I just want to encourage those persons who are watching, if you know someone, to give them the numbers that scrolled across our screen, and to let them know that you can help them, and do help them, because they need someone to help them. They need to know they have someone that they can trust, and that person has to be you, because you're their friend.
Absolutely. Thanks, Lynn. And Peg, did you have any last words on this? Because I know this is our area. We deal with it on Sister for Sisters Network, and we're so passionate about it. We're so passionate.
Yeah, I just want to say we can have this conversation 24/7. It doesn't go away. And I'm just thankful that we can tap into this at least once a month. We have this conversation. So, Amina, I am so happy to hear that you're going to move forward with your show, because it's going to be much needed. It's never gone away since the last time you did the show. And to Roxanne, I thank you, my sister, for shining a light on this issue. We must continue this conversation. And to my girl, Jennifer, you are simply amazing. I remember the first time we connected and met. You are doing the work. You're in the fields. You're in the garden. And all I can say is that's going to take the rest of us to wrap our arms around you to continue this journey. So thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much. As you all can hear out there, and please help us help others.
Yes.
We are passionate about what we're saying and what we're doing, and we are here to help anyone that needs help. I run across so many ladies, and I have crossed across a lot of ladies who just begin to share their story. I didn't even ask them, but they just need someone to speak to about their situation. And all you have to do is have a listening ear. Then offer some assistance if you can. And so we thank you all for listening to us today. We are here to help you, sisters. We are so happy that you came to share with us today. We don't take it for granted, and we want you all to continue to do the work. Continue to do the work, and we want you all back on this show again in 2024. I want you to have a happy and a safe holiday with you and your family. We love you so much. And we just going to leave out knowing that this is our 6th season of 4 Sisters Live. We celebrate. We're still celebrating you all. Yay!
Yay!
This is an opportunity that we continue to do. Hallelujah. We're still here. We're still here. Thank you guys so much. And we already know that you will be back. Thank you, Amina. Thank you, Jennifer. And thank you, Dr. Roxanne.
Spread the word.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Love you guys.
So, ladies, woo, thank you, Dee. We've been on this show, and we've been talking about this subject matter, and we had a great show today. Thank you all so much for being here with us today. But we know what time is it. We've had a great time. So what time is it, ladies?
It's time
for you
to walk
in your purpose
and
prosperity.
Yes.
We out. Bye-bye.